Yeah.
That's more expensive than mine, like
Right.
uh,
Yeah. I'm not. Ain't nothing regular about me. It's true.
yeah.
All right. So back here.
The wedding ring I had before, and I was working on a expressway bridge jackhammer, and we were bridge repairing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was jackhammering, and here I didn't take my ring off, and here I took my glove off, and it was broken out.
The ring or your fingers?
My finger. Yeah, my finger, and my ring, and all that, everything.
Okay. What's up, world?
Did they see you do that?
Sober Talk with Brother Brandon, the Raging Cajun. It's the weekend, baby.
So I can put it on YouTube too and see it.
Yep. We're live. Yes, sir.
Sober Talk with Brother Brandon, the Raging Cajun. It's the weekend, baby.
Welcome back to another episode of Sober Talk with Brothers Brandon, the Raging Cajun. It's almost the weekend, baby. I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. Weirdo Wednesdays, Hump Day, Camel Day. What you gonna do for the weekend, baby? But it's a great day to be alive, sober, and free. Free from the jail cell, free from the hospital, free from alcohol and drugs. Um, man, my heart goes out to and my prayers for all the people that are still out there struggling. There's a lot of resources in this world, and all you have to do is reach out and ask. Because a smart man told me once, if you're going to be a leader in your community, in your state, in your nation, or in the world, you have to have resources. And if I don't know the answer, I'm pretty sure I might know somebody that knows somebody that does. But today's show is being sponsored by New Freedom Center and New Freedom Family Center, and Tied for Second Sober Living. You can contact any of those three, and if you want to get in a treatment, they also have the New Freedom Family Center. They're accepting women that are pregnant right now. Soon they will be accepting women and their children. It's a great facility right here in Bismarck, North Dakota. It's one of its first kind here, and it's open and running by some great people, a great organization. I see a lot of longevity with this new family center, New Freedom Family Center. I am an alumni of New Freedom Treatment Center for anybody. And they also have Tied for Second Sober Living for men and women. But I got a special guest in the house tonight. He is a legend You hear about him in back dirt roads, on on the rodeo grounds, the Indian relays, the boxing ring. He is known. I got my man Justin Racine in the house. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How you doing, bro? All
Great.
right, man.
Well, you look like you're in all one piece. I see a knee brace on. They can't hold you down.
Yeah, I changed my knee brace. I just left the gym, and the other ones were all pretty much soaking wet, so I left them, let them dry.
Right.
When I'm
Uh,
done here, I'm going back to the fitness center.
I've been, but when you was doing push-ups every day, you was videoing yourself the push-up challenge. I was like, man, when I become an old fart, I want to be like Justin Reese doing two-finger push-ups on the back roads.
Oh man.
How long have you been sober and clean?
December 27th will be 11 years.
11
Yep.
years. Well, congratulations on
Uh,
that. 11 years of sobriety. Who would have knew? Miracles happen every day. So where were you born and where did you grow up at, brother?
I was born in Browning, Montana, March 17, 1971. And my parents, marriage was kind of was rocky, and they got divorced. My parents were divorced when I was, I believe, 5 years old, and we moved to North Dakota when I was 6 years old, and Parshall, North Dakota became my hometown.
MHA Nation.
Yep, enrolled member.
But the town Browning in Montana, is that where the gun's named after?
I don't know. I don't think so. No, no,
It's,
maybe.
you grew up with the heart of a countryman.
Yeah, born. My dad is a cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, she was a cowgirl. When she was a kid. And all her life.
Right.
Yep.
So you grew up riding cattle and being around farm animals?
When I lived in Montana, we lived on a ranch.
Okay.
Basically, yeah, we had a ranch out there, and moved North Dakota, and been a city boy ever since.
Okay. A city slicker.
Yeah, yeah.
So how was it growing up in Parshall?
Well, it was a change. It was a change from moving from Montana into North Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
And it was different, and it took me a while to adapt. And running around, with kids, and getting into trouble and whatever, and until finally one day, all the kids were going inside the Memorial Hall in Parshall, and that's where they had boxing practice.
Okay.
And I walked in there, and man, it was me and my one of my friends I grew up with that I was growing up with, and he was saying, "Come on, come with me, let's go this way, come on." And then we walked right beside the Memorial Hall, and I knew his boxing practice was starting.
Right.
And he said, "No, come with me, no, come with me." And I said, "No, I'm going in here, and and it was the right turn, And I walked in the doors, and went in there, and he went straight. And next thing you know, next day they were saying, "Yeah, did you hear about so and so? He got in trouble. He was stealing. And stole a bunch of stuff. And now he's in jail now." And he was in jail till he turned 18,
Mm-hmm.
and he was probably 10 years old. At the time, or no, about 8 years old at the time.
Little Dennis the Menace,
Yep,
huh?
yep. And that right turn, was probably the best choice I ever made.
Right. I've been in a bunch of situations I can look back in life
Yeah,
where I made a decision not to go somewhere and then something really bad happened to those people. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
So so you were introduced to boxing at about 8 years old?
Yeah, yeah,
And
right.
did you just fall in love with it or what was
That's where all the kids hung out.
right?
Yeah, that's where we all hung out, and that's where we ran around, and that's where we had fun.
Right. Did you start watching boxing? Like start like kind of learning about the legends and the people that really did it for a really long time? Or was it just kind of like a local thing and you found like a good place that you liked.
It was a good place. I mean, boxing. I can't wait till I have my first fight.
Right,
And and boxing come on TV, and I'd watch boxing matches, professional fights on TV.
right.
My first fight I ever watched was Muhammad Ali. I
Yeah,
watched him fight.
a rumble in the jungle.
Yeah, I believe it was Ken Norton. And
Okay,
then, the second fight I ever watched was Salvador Sanchez. And he's dead. He died not long after. When I watched him fight,
hmm
and go back to the run around in the gymnasium again. And all of a sudden, heck, man, I got to put the lace the gloves on, jump in the ring.
right. And did you like fight professionally, amateur? Like, how many fights you think you fought in your whole life?
I've had over 200 fights.
Yep, I can say that.
Yep,
That's a lot of fights.
yep. And I've had 22 professional fights.
Okay. And did you make money of doing it a little bit, or was it kind of just like
I made little, I mean, compared to nowadays, jeez, man,
they
I
were
mean,
making millions?
I was talking when I'm going to be promoting a fight here in March 2026, and one of the guys, that I have going to jump on the card, he kind of got upset with me because I posted on Facebook, and
Mhm.
he never signed no contract yet, and
Yeah.
so he thought I was going above his head,
Mhm.
and he talked to his manager, and and his manager was my teammate professionally.
Okay.
So I called him up, and we laughed about it, and he said no problem. He said, I'll take care of it. So I got some contracts made out, and I got to send him a contract, and
hmm
I got everybody's addresses now. I got to send. I got to as soon as I get paid, I got to send out some
Yeah.
get everything all set.
Yeah. Uh, is this your first time promoting?
It's my first time, yes.
Yeah. But so it can be done.
Yeah, it can be. It's amazing, man. It's
hmm
amazing.
That the things you can accomplish sober.
Yep. Yeah. If I was drinking, man, I wouldn't even. I'd probably be dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Teenage years. Were you boxing the whole time? When did you first try drugs and alcohol?
When I lived in Browning, I was just a toddler basically.
hmm
And I was running around on the streets. First time I was ever in jail, I was 4 years old, and
What you snuck in?
we was all just doing the totally the unthinkable, breaking windows and
Yeah.
in a junkyard, and our kids were huffing gas, and all
Yep.
that,
Getting the warm
yeah,
walls.
yeah, and all of a sudden the cops all pulled up, and and they had us all circled, and we all got thrown in jail. And I was only 4 years old.
hmm
Yeah.
And so in your teenage years, did you graduate high school
Yes, I did.
from partial?
Yep.
Okay.
1989.
1989. Um, did you continue boxing? Did you try any other sports? Um, were you drinking a lot?
I
Yeah.
started I started drinking when I was in sixth grade.
Okay.
Well, I should say the first time I experienced alcohol, I was in a kindergarten.
All right. That sounds about right.
Yeah, I was in kindergarten and impartial.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and we was shooting a shotgun around town, at the trailer courts, and the cops we ran inside, we locked the doors and hid, and we heard the cops are coming, and we didn't get caught,
Right.
and that's all I remember. And then I suppose drank a few times after that, but then when I was in sixth grade is when I kind of started drinking,
Yeah.
thinking it was fun.
Right. Um, did you win? Were you boxing in high school, or did you kind of like?
I boxed in elementary school and high school.
Okay. Did you win any trophies or medals or anything
I had
at that
about
point?
I had about Yeah, I had trophies. When I turned professional, I had like about 145 trophies.
Okay. Um, did you have a big family, like brothers and sisters, or um, growing up, cousins?
Yeah, I had a big family. Yep, I did. I
And
mean, cousins. My grandma was living, aunties, uncles, cousins, brothers. I had everybody, And now it's unbelievable, man, how time is nowadays, because you know, people been dying left and right.
you ain't lying.
Yeah,
Yep. Crossing over to the other side.
yeah.
Did y'all have any spiritual life in your family? Did you go to church or did y'all practice traditional ways? What was that like as you can remember?
I was baptized when I was mm, saying six when I was a sixth grader.
Hmm. And did y'all go to church? Did you pray?
I rarely went to church.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you believe in anything or you don't know?
I didn't believe in anything. I don't think.
Right. You believed in that alcohol.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So after school, after you finished high school, um, what was like, did you have like a like out in the big world, like did you become a rodeo clown or
I used to go out to my uncle Delvin's and work for him. Oh, we built a big old arena and shoots and bucking shoots, and he had a lot of horses, and so he had us all try out his broncs.
yeah,
Right now he's always had a rodeo company, foot rodeo company. He's got one of the some of the top stock in the state and the country.
okay.
Yeah. So we used to always ride broncs when we was growing up.
How old were you when you first tried riding a bull?
When I was 16,
How was that? How was that
I've
experience?
only jumped on four bulls.
Okay.
Yeah, in my time.
I haven't jumped on any. Though I jumped on in the Mall of America though. I jumped on the what they call it? The the machine
Yeah, the
bull
machine
rider.
bulls. Yeah.
Yeah. And so how have those four bull rides been for you?
Well, I didn't last very long.
Right.
And I rode more broncs than I did bulls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, and did you just like in your 20s and 30s, did you just kind of like work doing with cattle or when did you go professional fighting?
After the '92 Olympics,
Okay. You seen the Olympics and you was like, I could win.
man, I wanted to try out. I wanted to try out for the box off, the trials.
Yeah.
But I got because I was sitting number 6 in the nation, and I wanted to make it to the trials, but I didn't make. I think they took the top 5, so I had to go through the Golden Gloves,
Mm,
and but I got robbed, and
mm,
robbed a decision, in Minneapolis, and
mm,
they gave me the best fighter award,
mm.
and to this day. The guy who beat me, he just like about a month ago, he wanted to have a rematch.
Oh yeah? Where's he
he,
live
he
at?
he lives in Brainerd, Minnesota.
Okay.
So he's still carrying it, that
Yeah.
I think he believes that he lost.
Right.
So
Y'all the same age, kind of?
same age, yeah.
Yeah. Well, shit, let's make that happen. You know,
I'm done, man.
I think that bull what was the last year or the year before that, 2 years ago.
2 years ago,
Like,
about a year and a half ago,
yeah. I think that bull got the best of you.
he did. He did. He lucked out. He's lucky I had a bad knee. Otherwise, he would never got me.
Right. People tell me all the time, being Cajun, coming from Louisiana, and they say, man, I don't know how y'all swim with them alligators and them snakes. I was like, man, I don't know how y'all ride them bulls. You ever just stared at a bull? You know what I mean?
And,
It's a crazy looking creature. It like it didn't even come from came from the moon or something.
I remember that day, when I put my rope around that chute, to pull. I was a chute opener,
Yeah.
And that bull looked at me, and I walked up and I looked at that bull. We both looked at each other
Yeah,
in
y'all size each other up.
in the eyes, man, in the eyes. And there was something about it, and I'm getting away from you. And when the rider called to shoot, I pulled it open and I took off. And that bull, he didn't even buck. He just turned around. He came straight at me.
Oh, I thought you was riding
And
the
he
bull.
no,
Oh,
and he hit me right in the back, and I flew against the panel. And he runs up to me and he hits me again in the back, and I went down, and he just, damn,
mangled you
yeah,
up.
he just mangled
Did
me
you
up
break
there.
some ribs or anything? Or
I broke my lower back, and I broke 3 ribs, and my shoulder was broken in 4 places.
and then like 2 weeks later, you was back on the streets.
I was I was back at the rodeos, we're ready to go to work.
Yeah.
1 week later.
Yeah. I thought you was riding. I was like, damn, he didn't came out of retirement, old Iron Man. And
Yeah. No, 1 week later, I had, I made a promise, I was gonna work the Indian relays, so I went down to Mobridge, 1 week later, and I worked them, kept my word. I decided I didn't have to do much, and then a week later after that, I went to Twin Views Rodeo, and they won't let me work then. They said, no, you're on workman's comp, we can't allow you to work, Justin,
yeah. Well, at least you still showed up.
yeah. I did. I showed up ready to work.
um, any DUIs in your life?
I've had 15 DUIs.
15?
Yep.
Man, that's gotta be a rhythm. Man, 15 DUIs. Well, any of them on cattle?
No.
Because I heard in Montana and Wyoming, you could get a DUI riding on a horse or any kind of livestock.
Yeah, I got I believe it was like oh, I'm not sure. Anyways, they gave me a floater off the Blackfeet Reservation because of a DUI, too many DUIs, and
Right.
they said, if you got to leave the Blackfeet Reservation for a year, or if we catch you, you got to do a year in our jail. It was like, okay, bye.
Right.
And I left. Yeah.
Any of those DUIs were like crashes or anything like that? Or just kind of getting pulled over?
Yeah, I crashed. I ran into a tree. Well, I was running from the cops, and they were trying to stop me. My car didn't go very fast,
Right.
but
It was
I,
on like
I
some
wasn't
back
I
roads.
wasn't gonna stop.
Yeah.
And they ran me off the road and ran me into a tree.
Did you get hurt?
No, I didn't. I jumped out and I started fighting the cops, and they all circled me and piled me and took me to jail and put the boots to me.
Yeah. Well, good thing they didn't shoot you,
Yeah,
but they
no,
knew who you really was.
yeah, man,
um.
crazy.
So, a lot of bad situations drinking.
I've
What
had some
did
bad
you get? Did
situations.
you
Yeah,
drink and want to fight? Or
yeah, I did.
yeah,
I did. I used to get drunk just to go look for a fight.
I bet you did,
Yeah.
Mister 200 fights. um. So, how old were you when you stopped fighting professionally?
I'll tell you, man, I thought it was the end of the world. I didn't know what to do with myself. And
Right. Did you travel around a lot when you
I
fought?
traveled all over. Yeah, I traveled over to Africa.
Yeah.
That was the highlight of my career.
The Thriller in Manila.
Yeah, that was
You fought in Africa?
my chance for the world title. And I got beat away. That was my only loss.
Like it was on TV?
It was on ESPN too.
Okay. So if I look this up, I can find you?
I don't know. I tried, man. I tried and tried and tried. I just could
Did you
never
have
find
like a
anything.
nickname? You know how like people got nicknames?
Warrior.
The Warrior.
Yep.
Somebody said that. Travis Partial, the Bronx Baby, the Warrior. Springsteen. How many kids you got?
Um, I've got I got a daughter, right
Right.
now, yeah.
And and have
And
you?
I got extended family,
Yep.
And we probably got about, I don't know, too many.
Right. Right.
I'm-
Uh, uh, Go ahead.
well, I mean, I can't think of the exact amount right now, but
Right.
man, I enjoy kids, man.
Right.
I mean, they give me a new life,
Yep.
and taking care of them, and watching them, grow and watching them in sports and just taking care of them, man, and teaching them.
Right.
That's the most awesomest thing,
Right.
Yeah,
It is because I love hanging out with my son. You know.
yeah.
Uh, and so have you ever been married?
Nope, this is my first time.
Oh,
First time to my wife right now.
well,
She's watching.
yep.
Hi, honey.
What's up, Jerry? We love you. Yeah, that's beautiful, brother. Yeah, it's my first time too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My whole life I was I didn't have that many DUIs, but I was a rock and a roller, you know? What was some of the darkest days of your life in your drinking career that you can remember? Because
Mm,
some led you up to getting sober. You know what I mean? So usually people can like remember like some dark times, and then after that they wind up finally trying to start getting sober. Um, do you recall anything like that? Or what led you up to this almost 11 years of sobriety?
I used to live in I went back, moved back to Montana, and that's where I boxed professional out of, and I had my ups and downs there, too. And I was up in Browning and drinking, and I left my car at my cousin's house, and it was blizzarding, and my car got buried, and man, alcohol, drugs, man, it was just unbelievable, and they're drinking vodka and whiskey, and I was so sick, man. I was sick and tired. I was sick and tired, being sick and tired, and I was sick. I was hungover,
Mm-hmm.
and I just wanted to end it all, man. I did. I couldn't take it anymore. I was too sick, I didn't know how I was gonna make it through the day. I was just thinking different things. I lost a brother through suicide.
Around that time?
I'm 92,
Okay.
91, and I was just thinking different ways how to just end it all, And I thought, shit, I'm going to treatment.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to treatment for the first time, and I wanted to see what it was like or I went to this revival, and the preacher, he was pointing right at me, like he was pointing right at me and talking like he was talking to me,
Yeah.
and and I wanted to see how people get to experience, the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
the Holy Spirit, I wanted to see it myself, and I did, I prayed, man, constantly, every night, every day, I read the Bible, and I finally seen what they seen, I mean, suicide was a daily thought in my mind for a long time, And after that, after I finally experienced the Lord and and coming face to face with Jesus, that I never had those thoughts again.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to get mosquitoes. Holy smokes!
Yeah, they follow me around.
Yeah.
Kind of like on Charlie Brown, the little kid with the blanket.
Yeah. And I went to treatment 3 times
Where did you go the first time?
in Browning. Browning. Yeah.
And did you learn anything when you were there? Or did
I
anything like
learned
resonate in your mind like, "Man, I can relate to that, you know?
I learned about Jesus.
Okay.
I learned about the Lord.
Amen.
Yeah.
And where did you go the other times, the other two times?
When I came back to North Dakota, oh, I believe I went to I don't know. I was working for the Texal administration, and I got in trouble drinking, and so I had to go to treatment, to keep my job,
Mm-hmm.
and I lasted, and for about 8 months, and then I eventually started drinking again, and finally another time I went to treatment again. I went to treatment. It was all my own choice,
Mm-hmm.
And then if the third time don't help, it's all up to me.
Mm-hmm.
I never went to my aftercare. I never did that because that's not how I was taught.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody just go to treatment and that's it. And it's supposed to, I don't know, it's supposed to make you quit drinking.
Right.
But it never did. I mean, if the third time don't do it, I guess it's all up to me.
Right.
And it took 16 years before I finally quit.
Mm-hmm. And so, how old were you when you stopped?
Mm, Geez,
11 years ago.
11 years ago. Let's see
You
here.
was 14.
I'm 54 now. I would say, what would that be? Anyways, that'd be what?
Yep. So 44 would be 10.
Yep,
So
yep,
43.
yep. 43. I
That's
was
how old
43
I
years
am.
old. Yep,
Yep.
yep.
I
So
just.
it took me 16 years before I finally quit.
Hmm. And how did you quit? I mean, like you just woke up that day and said,
No,
"That's it."
I went to my sister's wedding in Browning, and I wasn't living, I was drinking all the time, and experiencing drugs,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew my sister was getting married, so I thought, man, I wanted to go, I basically wanted to see my family, my dad and them, my brothers, my
Right.
sister get married, and be there. And so I stopped over at my nephew Bobby's, and I asked him, well, needed a driver, somebody to help me drive. And so I told him, Bobby, you got to come with me, man. My dad's not doing good, man. He's in a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
He's in Billings, and shit, this will be the only time you're ever gonna see him,
Mm-hmm.
So you better come with me, But I was lying, and here all of a sudden he goes like this. He's talking. He's telling me, he's gonna talk to his girlfriend, And I said, "No, Bobby, come on, man. You got to come with me, man." I said, "You're never gonna get to meet your grandpa, I said, "Okay, all right." So he walked around and talked to his girlfriend, and he comes out. He has his bags. He goes, "Let's go." So we're driving, and we're driving towards Williston, and he goes, "Something tells me we're not going to Billings." I said, "No, we're going to Browning."
Right.
I said, my sister's getting married. I said, "We're going to the wedding." So he said, "Well, okay." He said, "Can't, guess we can't, we're not going to turn around."
Right.
So we go over there, and it was only supposed to be a trip over there, the wedding, and then come back the next day, a 3-day trip.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started drinking, and then my wife called me, and I don't know, and then I started drinking, and then I lost my phone. Then I lost my keys.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kept drinking, and shit. And then Bobby, he must have been coming down because he slept and slept and slept for days.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, he had my keys, and he had my phone, though. So we finally came back North Dakota. Then he stole my car, and so I was stranded and partial,
Right.
And I just kept drinking, and finally, I got a ride to White Shell to get my car, and I headed home, and I walked. I'm just sitting there. My head was just all messed up, and I'm hungover, and my daughter comes in the room, Dad, Daddy, 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 I looked at her, and it's like I didn't have no time for her, I love my child very much, with all my heart, but I just like I didn't have no time for her, and she takes off, and I'm sitting there telling myself, my child needs me, she needs me. If there's anybody in her life that's gonna teach her right from wrong, it's me.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, shit, I'm done. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Done messing around. Done. I quit. I quit everything right now. What I did.
Mm-hmm.
Quit drinking. Quit doing drugs and whatever it was I did. I quit. And it's been December 27th. Will be 11 years.
Good man. So how did you do it though? Like how did you start staying sober for this long, like on a daily basis?
Um, well, I was going to work, and I used to work the union. I was going to work one morning, and
What you need?
labor's,
Hmm.
and I listened to this deal on the radio. Virgil Hill, he was coming back,
Hmm.
making his last fight,
Hmm.
and I thought, man, yeah, that's really something, and then here I get a phone call, from our a matchmaker, my buddy, one of the coaches in Minot, he calls me and he asked me, he said, Justin, he said, Virgil Hill, isn't there, he doesn't have an opponent, they keep pulling out on him, he said, so, would you be interested in fighting him, boxing him? I said, really? Me? He said, yeah. He said, you want to fight him, for his final fight, farewell fight, and
Hmm.
I said, let me call you back on this later,
Hmm.
So waited for a day, and I went to work, went home and I made my choice. I called him up and I said, yeah, I'll fight him. I'll fight him, yep.
And Virgil Hill he's from Turtle Mountains.
He's from Williston, Grand Forks.
Okay.
And so so I started training,
Hmm.
I started getting back into shape, and I kind of think I take it like it was a spiritual awakening for me,
Hmm.
because something just, I swore off the bottle, swore off everything, drugs and alcohol, and then I had that phone call, and it just got me to maybe start training again,
Right.
and then
God's plan.
yeah, yeah, it was God's plan, and then it's like the week before the fight, I got a phone call and said, yeah, Virgil's manager Bill Sorensen said, he don't want nobody fighting anybody from North Dakota
Oh,
because it's his farewell fight to North Dakota, so it's not a good idea
and
for
he
him.
was a world champion.
He was a former world champion, yes.
Okay. Professional.
Yeah. So I went anyways, and watched him, and enjoyed the fight, and
Who did he fight?
some guy from Germany.
Okay. Did he win?
Yeah, it didn't last but one round,
Where was the fight at?
Bismarck Civic Center.
Okay. A lot of people.
It was a lot, but there was more when he was younger,
Right.
Yeah,
And so he grew up in North Dakota.
yeah, he did. He was born in Missouri, and his mother is from or not Turtle Mountain, but Standing Rock,
Okay. Okay.
and her last name is oh man, I can't even think of the last name now. And it's not important,
Hmm. But and are you and him around the same age?
No, he's older than me.
Okay. And yeah, I've heard about him a lot even before I really got to know North Dakota. You know,
Hmm.
'cause I grew up watching boxing. You know, uh, and I think it's legendary that I'm sitting here with you, and and you was in that same circle of people as far as when it comes to that. Um, so how is your life now?
My life is great.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying life. It's actually really exciting. And blessings.
right. Grace.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. It is. I mean, I never thought I was ever going to be a promoter.
Hmm.
And me and my buddy, me and him was going to start promoting, and I brought it up to him. It was my idea, and he eventually got sick and he died. He got sick with cancer, and then I got hurt,
Uh-huh.
and then he passed away. And I'm sitting at home one day, and I'm thinking to myself, thinking about we were going to start promoting a fight, and I'm thinking, it ain't going to happen
Hmm.
if I'm not going to make it. No one has to make a move.
Hmm.
If I don't do anything about it, it's not going to happen. So
Right.
I put it together, and it took me a while, a lot of thinking, man, and I made it, and it's coming true. It's a
Mhm.
blessing. It's
It is a blessing.
yeah.
And are there the fights that you're promoting, are they going to fight at the casino?
At Four Bears, yes.
Okay. Um, that sounds exciting.
It's really exciting, man. It's called Indian Uprising,
Hmm.
and so everybody out there, there's no official date been set yet. When I'm sure we're shooting for March 2026. It's gonna be called Indian Uprising once again, and there's gonna be a lot of tough dudes coming.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. I might have to get some floor seats.
yeah. Hector Camacho Jr. is gonna be my main event.
Okay.
Him and Jake Fox are fighting he's from Cannonball, but he's an enrolled member at MHA.
Okay. And where's Hector Junior coming from?
He's he lives in New York, but right now he's taking care of his son down in Texas
Okay.
since school started.
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up watching it. I guess his dad.
Yeah,
Um, and so there's a lot of great fighters through the years. You know, when boxing was really exciting to watch. You
yeah,
know, I don't know about these days. You know,
yeah,
some boxing is good to watch, but some of it's kind of like, it's watered down a little bit.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Um, so how did you 'cause you train boxers too, right?
yeah.
When did you start that? A couple years ago?
No, I've always been around boxers almost my whole life, and
Hmm.
teaching them and showing them how to do it, how to fight, and how to mix it up, and as amateurs, and me and my buddy that we're gonna start promoting a fight. We we have younger brothers, and we train our younger brothers, to we travel to a few fights, Indian nationals, in Minnesota, and so we've been coaching. I've been coaching for a long time,
Hmm.
Sometimes I am, and sometimes I'm not, But
Right.
my heart's always in it, though.
Right. Um, what was one of the best or places that was like memorable when you was traveling and fighting? Africa or some other places that you kind of like?
Michigan, Marquette, Michigan, that was awesome. The Great Lakes.
Okay.
Yep,
And was it summer or was it winter?
it was in April.
Okay, so it was nice.
Yep, it was nice over. It was cold over here, but it was nice over there.
Yeah. I don't know how that happened.
Yep.
People had spring break and we freezing to death. No stacked up to your chin.
Yeah,
Um, so
Africa too.
yeah,
Africa
I've been to
was
Africa.
awesome, man.
I've been to Africa.
And if we go on a vacation, that's where I'd like to go is to Africa.
Yeah. When I went, I was working in the oil field offshore. We was off of Equatorial Guinea, and there's a little island it's called Malabo. And when you're on land, you stay in a compound with like armed guards and stuff, and you have to, and then you go out. You fly out there, and they actually have guards on the oil platforms and barbed wire and stuff, so pirates don't try to come get up on them.
Hmm.
And you have to take malaria pills. Uh, you have to take malaria pills, and it's a lot of different kind of bugs and critters over there. I can tell you
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But on a daily basis for the legend Justin Racine, what does a normal day look like for you from the time you wake up?
Well, right now, man, I get up, I read my Bible
Okay.
every morning. I read my Bible,
Mhm.
and it's unbelievable, man. I mean, the faith. It's faith. You
Mhm.
gotta have faith.
You do.
You know, them words. Oh, you have little faith. And having faith. Faith is everything.
Hmm.
God is in control.
Amen.
That's one thing. That I know. God is in control,
Hmm.
and it's because of having faith. Faith is the main word. You gotta have faith
Hmm.
in everything you do, everything, and just realize that God is in control, man.
He
and
is.
and and and, and it can't be said any better and any different.
Right. So,
It all starts with faith, and you got to realize, and God is in control.
so you wake up and read your Bible.
Yep.
Then what?
And then I feed my animals,
You got
feed my dogs, feed my cats.
okay. How many dogs and cats you got?
We got 3 dogs and 2 cats.
Okay. And are they fighters like you?
I got 2 pit bulls and a how do you say it? A chug.
A chug?
He's a pit bull. Yeah, no, he's not a pit. He's a chihuahua and a pug mixed.
Yeah. You know
So
what's
he's a chug now.
some of the funniest cross mix I ever seen was a pit bull head with a weenie dog body.
I've seen that.
I see.
I know which one you're talking
I,
about.
I saw one back home that blew my mind before I moved up here, and then I know somebody that's got one here.
Unbelievable, man.
I laugh every time when you see it because it's actually a weenie dog body with a full head.
He was trying to play around with all them dogs, and his legs are too short, and he couldn't play.
Yeah.
Those dogs are too fast for him.
Arlen J. Rabbit Head, he said, WWF. And he said 2 weeks later you was dancing at the powwow after you got hurt by that bull.
Yeah.
he was he was chicken grass dancing.
That's my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, how you doing, bro?
What's up, Arlen? And that's amazing, brother. So you feed your animals and then you go hit the gym. What you eat a
I
raw egg?
I I take him for a run.
Mhm.
They used to run with me, man. My oldest dog, Loki, he ran with me every day. We put in over 1,500 miles a year
Yeah.
for about 4 years straight.
Okay.
And now I'm retired and he's retired now.
Give me some eggs.
But he's like 10 years old, and I hook him up with his leash, and I take him for a drive. He'll go drive, let him run.
Right.
And Apollo, he does the same thing. But he tries to pull. He tries to drag the car.
Mm-hmm.
And but I take him for a really long, good run. And then Winston, him, a little tiny dog. He's really fast.
Yeah. He, you can't keep up with him.
Yeah, but you know what? They're quiet at night because they're sleeping. They're tired.
Right. You wear them out.
Yeah,
It's like kids.
yeah.
You gonna sleep good tonight.
That's the trick there.
Yeah. Any big plans for the holidays?
Thanksgiving and Christmas?
Yeah.
Ah, none yet. We just go with the flow. We're
Yep.
probably gonna go to Montana.
Do a little hunting and
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I'll be next week. I'm going to knee surgery,
Oh, next
knee
week.
knee replacement surgery,
Week
and
later you'll be moonwalking.
hey man, I
Are they
mean,
giving you a titanium?
yeah, titanium, yeah.
Soon you'll have an AI
And I
knee.
and I can't wait, man. It's been going on 5 years now, and
It's been bothering you?
it sucks, man. And I'm missing out on a lot, too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really are gonna be dancing at the powwow. You might have an AI two knees where you have a remote for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, but physical therapy, you got to go to physical therapy, and that's the only way your knee's gonna get better. And maybe my body heals fast.
Right. Yeah, you do have some good cells, I can tell you that.
Yeah. Well,
Um, do you work out every day? Like in the
I
gym?
would like to. I feel like I do, but I work out 4 days a week.
Do you train boxers 4 days a week? Or just certain days?
I go over to where you had your podcast before.
Do some.
New song. I go
Yeah.
over there and I go to Tucker Pudwell's gym on Tuesdays, and I help him out, give him a hand.
Mhm.
And I go back to the fitness center and I work with my daughter and teaching her um, self defense.
Mhm.
Because of the MMIW,
Mm-hmm.
missing murdered Indian women, Native American women.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm teaching her to defend herself, and she wants to help out a lot of other young girls, and teach them self defense,
Yeah.
too, because of that, the red hand.
Right. Well, that's
Yeah,
a good thing, brother.
yeah, it is. Yeah,
Um, do you ever go to sobriety meetings or anything like that? Conferences?
we go to AA meetings on Saturday,
Okay.
go
So
to
you,
church
so
on
you,
Sundays.
so you do keep that in your life,
Yeah,
sobriety,
yeah,
and yeah, I've seen you at evangel lots of times,
yep.
so
You're not there anymore, are you?
yeah.
Really? I never see you there. I mean,
Well, I just got married and I went on a
yeah,
honeymoon.
I get you now. I get you now.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I still do. I did camera last weekend, but I go into the prison with them on Sundays too.
Hmm.
So I'm still there, brother.
Yeah. All right. Okay, man. Sometimes I don't see you. You must be good there in the mornings. Earlier.
I mean, if I'm there doing volunteering or serving, I'm there for every service.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Okay. We go to the 12:30 service.
Yep. So I usually I do like the worship part and then I leave. Because usually now I got it set up where if I serve do camera, that's the same day when I leave church, I'm going to the prison.
Okay. All right. I get you. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so yeah, it was were you there last Sunday?
Yep.
And they had the lady preaching?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
There. Yep.
Yeah, she was good.
Yeah, she was. Yep.
Yeah, she was real good. But yeah, I have the amazing opportunity to go into the prison and do a service. And so that's a great thing that I mean, we've been me, Travis, and Seth, we started going there about
Tank.
2 years ago. Tank?
Yeah.
Who's Tank?
Travis Rabbited.
No. Uh Gatsky.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the lead. He actually got hired on with Evangel and he's leading the prison ministry. And shout out to the prison ministry and all the inmates. Uh we love y'all. I actually be going in there Friday um to do something that I'm applying for. Do a video in there.
Oh, really? Right on.
Yeah. And so it's a great thing to get sober and the things you can accomplish with a sober mind.
Yep.
You
That's
know?
right. Yep.
And so I've done a lot of things that I would have never done in my life if I wasn't sober. You know what I mean?
Yep. Exactly. Yep.
Getting to know parts of your family that you've never known, never met, um, amending, healing relationships, because alcohol is a taker. Alcohol and drugs will take stuff from you. Just like you said, you and your people went to that wedding, you lost your phone, you lost your keys, and then you lost your car,
Yeah.
because he took it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I was in a doghouse too when I got home.
I bet you what? I bet you was in the goat house. you in
Yeah.
the, I bet. But
Was you ever in a doghouse yet?
the doghouse?
Yeah.
I mean, I've slept in a lot of crazy places when I wasn't sober.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what you mean, though? That's that old man marriage trying to get a kitchen pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But but it's a great thing just to be alive, sober, and free.
It's awesome, man. Yep. It is.
It's a blessing to be able to have a new life where we're not getting 20 DUIs,
Oh
we're
man.
not crashing in the trees and fighting the police. It's a beautiful thing. Um, but Justin Racine, with almost 11 years of sobriety, uh, grew up boxing, was boxed professionally, from North Dakota and Montana, and now he's promoting. You know, he's a great man, uh, and a warrior. You know, he's what are you doing, like triathlons or something, or the Ironman thing that we're doing? thought I saw you a couple years back where you like swim, run, and ride a bike.
That was the Ultimate Fitness Challenge.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was in Newtown.
Yep.
Okay, and how was that?
I took first place 3 years in a row at my age bracket.
How many people?
The first time there was maybe 14 of us,
Right.
and the second year kind of lost out. You know, maybe there was like 7 of us, I believe it was, and
Mm.
then the third year there was 2 of us.
Mm.
But then they just let us all race at once.
Arlen said you got 9 lives, brother. and, uh, and, and your wonderful wife Jerry said, yeah, he got the sleep. He got the couch. He hit the doghouse on the couch. Yep. But at least you was warm.
Yeah,
It's one thing being in the doghouse and you're outside freezing.
yeah,
It's another thing being in the doghouse when you're on the couch and you're nice and warm.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. You know, my wife keeps me warm all night, every night. You know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad that you found your partner in life. You know what I
You
mean?
know, there was times, you know, when it was like we had no heat in the wintertime,
Right.
and 30, 40 below zero, man, and you know, we just had each other, you know.
Hmm.
And it was, you know, we had a little tiny space heater, you know, but that
Yeah.
still it didn't do the trick, you know. But hey, you know what? You got your partner there with you, you know, and that's the warmth you need, you know.
Right. Quick.
That's the comfort you need, you know. Give me the blankets, you know.
And then somebody farts.
Yeah, yeah. Unbelievable too.
It's all about it. It's all about enjoying life. You know what I mean? Enjoying the days that we've been blessed with.
Yeah.
You know. So what do you think about the alcohol and drugs nowadays? How it's like affecting like so many people.
Man, you know, there's not too many alcoholics around anymore, you know.
Mm.
There is, you know, but there's more addicts nowadays, you know.
Right.
And it's not there ain't nothing good about it, you know.
Right.
I don't know. I can't see how anybody can do that, you know.
Right.
I mean, addicts, you know, drugs are addicted, you know, pills are addicted, you know.
Mhm.
And you know, hey man, I don't know. I mean, I'm glad I didn't get they weren't around when I drank, you know,
Right.
did drugs, you know.
They'll take you out quick now.
Yeah. I mean,
You can stare at something too long and die.
you know, if I was to ever start, you know, I won't, you know, but if I if I ever made that choice to start drinking again, you know, I would I'd rather be dead, you know.
Hmm.
And because I made so much promises, you know, and to myself and to the kids, you know, that I would never drink anymore and I'd always be home and I'd always be around. I'll be there for them, you know,
Right.
through everything, you know. And not only that, you know, it's like drugs are always around, man, you know,
Hmm.
and if I, you know, anybody could take them, you know, it's not if you're gonna die, it's when you die,
Hmm.
and anybody who does them, hey man, you know, it's not, it may not happen now, it'll happen later, you know,
Hmm.
and
Um,
it's sad.
it is
It's a
sad.
sad thing, man.
It is. It is sad, but it's reality.
Yep, it is.
You know what I mean? It's either you stay sober and become a better person and put in the work, or you die. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so, I mean, that's pretty much it. You know, yeah, you can go to prison, but a lot of people just dying. You know, and it is a sad thing. You know, another life, wasted life, and then all the people that's affected by it.
Yeah, it's a lost generation, you know.
Hmm. So if you had any words of wisdom to anybody out there listening that is lost, they can't stop drinking, they're in and out of trouble, they can't stop using drugs, um, what would you tell them?
Well, remember, that there's nothing good about alcoholism, and there's sure selling anything good about drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta always remember, you gotta have faith and remember that God's always in control.
Mm.
You know, and if you think that you can't do it, remember those words, "Oh, you with little faith."
Mm. Yep. Gotta have faith.
And that's in the Bible. It's in Matthew, Luke, and Matthew.
Either you're gonna have faith or you're gonna have fear.
Yep.
You know? Which one is it? But what I found is that the more you drink and drug, the easier it is for the fear to creep in. You know what I mean? And it lasts. So say if you drink and drug and then you're able to like recover and the next few days you're not even drinking and drugging, but now you're full of fear, and depression. And so you it it is hard to get through the pain and everything at first, but you just keep fighting. If this old dude can still do all the stuff that he does, you could do it too. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just try to stay sober for one day, you know, and then try another day. You can do it. Just keep trying. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Well, that's great, brother. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come here and share some light with us and talk about your life and the things you're doing in the world and the knowledge and wisdom to give out there to the people listening.
Yep.
I appreciate you,
Okay.
brother. It's a pleasure to know you as a man.
Yep.
The man with 9 lives and 15 DUIs. The man,
And I got my license.
and he's got a valid license, license, registration, and insurance, baby.
And you know what? One, don't ever lose them, man, because you don't know how important they are with your life.
Mhm.
If you don't have a driver's license, you don't have a life. So if you have one, don't ever lose it.
Right. And, and when you lose God throughout your life, um, it's sometimes it takes a long time to get that connection back. But when you do get that connection back, don't never let it go again. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Keep that channel, keep that spiritual power connected to you. Cause it's all God right here, man. It's all God's plan. I should have been dead, locked up forever a long time ago.
Yeah, and when you got God in your life, you won't know it, but you'll see it, when God is working.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see it and you'll know it, that hey
Mm-hmm.
man, that's a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people will say, yeah, but I never see anything, I don't, it doesn't work for me, but that's because you gotta have faith.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you with little faith, have faith, and realize God's in control. All of a sudden, you'll see it. You'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see the blessing.
Yeah.
There's just so many blessings that happen.
Prayers going up,
Yeah,
blessings coming down, baby.
yeah. And it's just, they're unbelievable, man. They're awesome, man. It's an awesome thing.
Um,
And
your wife says, good idea. I'm gonna start feeding him raw eggs. Yep.
okay.
She said she got some cage free eggs for you.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get some new eggs.
Well, thanks everybody for tuning in to another episode of Sober Talk with brothers Brandon, the Raging Cajun, the man, the myth, the legend, Justin Racine, now the promoter. You might catch him with a Don King wig on.
I'm gonna change my name from Racine Promotions to Tough Guy Promotions.
Tough guy. And he's gonna have a briefcase with a handcuffs
Yeah.
on it.
I need a briefcase, so anybody's got extra briefcase, Let me have it.
Yep, it's gonna be alpaca. It's gonna be it's gonna be real fur. Well, thank you, brother. 10 years of sobriety. Uh, great man, doing great things, a godly man. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I hope everybody has a great rest of their week. Um, don't take yourself so serious. Take it easy. Laugh. If you can't stay sober, catch a Uber. We do love you. If you need any resources, reach out to the Sober Talk page. Follow the YouTube page. Please hit subscribe. Please and thank you. It's free. If anyone wants to be a guest on the show, shoot me a message. If anybody needs help or needs resources, shoot me a message. If anybody has speaking events or they're planning an event, shoot me a message. I just spoke at the Dickinson State University. Spoke at the prisons. I speak at treatment centers. Um, whatever your event is, or if you have any ideas, or you want to be interviewed, just shoot me a message, please. And my heart goes out and my prayers go out to all the people that are struggling. They're in and out of the hospital. They're lost in the streets. They can't stay sober. All the family members that have lost either a child or a loved one, and the children that don't have a parent now from alcohol and drugs. Um, my heart and my prayers go out to you every single day. And the people that are doing the sober thing, that are changing their lives from the inside out, um, much love. Keep doing your thing, brothers and sisters. And keep tuning in. So today's show is being sponsored by New Freedom Family Center. Also, today's show is being sponsored by the Ridge Treatment Center in Fargo, North Dakota. Shout out to Prairie Recovery Center. Shout out to the House of Fade in Mandan, North Dakota. Resurrection Tattoo, where you can get hooked up and not effed up. Shout out to Serenity Bridge Sober Living, Treasures of the Sea and Earth, all the men at NDSP, all the workers there and the people that make great things happen.
Crap.
Oh, the old man's got a cramp. Holy cow, work it out, work it out there. Work it out there, Jake. Oh, he's cramping up. Got the Charlie horse. Yeah, work it out, Jake. You need some hydration? But thank everybody. We love you. If you can't stay sober, call somebody. In the words of my great grand sponsor, Jack Hype, if nobody told you yet, we love you,
Sober
baby.
Talk
Peace and
with
chicken
Brother
grease.
Brandon, the Raging Cajun. It's the weekend, baby.